Hello, I'm Adeola Davies-Aiyeloja. And when you think of my name, think of Gladiola, Adeola. That's the easy way to remember. I am a Southern California based and I'm a multidisciplinary artist. I work with various medium, from printmaking to paintings in oil, acrylic, and to working with enamel, which is powder glass, and metal smithing. My first love started with printmaking, and from there developed into painting, and over time started working with metals. And when I started working with metals, I love it because it's a way to pound and move the metal. There's something with that interacting. It's kind of very cathartic when you have to heat up a metal and stretch it and make it into a bowl or whatever it is that you are trying to make. But I was not really satisfied. I wanted to do more with the metal. I wanted to do more because my background came from printmaking and painting, and I discovered enameling, which is painting on metal. So I work with enamel, so I'm an enamelist, and I do both 2-dimension and 3-dimension enamel. I also love to do 3-dimensional piece like jewelry that you can wear in both earrings, necklaces, and all kinds. Currently, I'm working on this new series body of work, and I'm doing some sculptural pieces. But when I look at how I approach my work and what I do, it is very much so intuitive. I'm an intuitive painter. I start out with an idea. I start out with a series, but as soon as I start to create, and I mean create, whether it's painting, sculpture, whatever it is, I'll need to listen. I need to follow the voice of what that process is telling me I need to do and make adjustment as I go along the way. But over years, part of it of maturing and learning is you listen and you kind of follow that trend and see what it says, what it's telling you, what directions, and be more flexible. I think when one develops that kind of attitude towards painting, it becomes a little bit easier to do and create. One of the other things that I do, when I start a body of work, I try to infuse it with positive manifestation words, because I feel those words carry a lot of energy beneath the piece. You might not see it. And because my series of work that I do or things that I believe in, it has to do with advocacy, and that could be in women's health, it could be in immigrant issues, it could be in injustice, social justice. And those things I've participated in. But when I start each of those series, one of the things I love to do is just write all these different words, affirmations, and just write those words, and they get covered up. For most part, you never know they were there. And then I will start to cover the canvas or the paper or whatever material I'm using with colors, and then start to layer. I work in such a style. People have asked me, how do you do your colors and stuff? I think a lot of it has to do with my cultural background. I was naturally born into it. Everything is colorful. I gravitate towards it, and if I put it on my palette, I'll use it. Even though color is part of my culture and everything, I still have to find a way and learn the way of how to use it to make the pieces. And over the years, is learning to layer and take away. So I work in the process that's more of a tug of war. That's the way I like to think of it. You know, you pull and push, you add and you take away, you continue that process and you layer. So when I start my pieces and start to do the layering, they're very done abstractly, and by the time I'm done, people started to tell me that they've seen animals and people. Oh, you have someone here, and this is that's just layers, and that's just how things, shows up. When I get to a point that after looking at it for a few days or maybe a week, and there's no reason to add to it, to take away from it, then I consider it done. One of the things I want to share with you is this boat that's part of my upcoming solo show. This is going to be an installation piece. The show is about my experience, my takeaway from recent visit to Ghana. The show is titled Sacred Imprints, Bearing Witness to Ancestral Spirits. And it's the visit to a couple of the castles that has to do with the transatlantic slave trade. This boat is a metaphor, or it's to signify the journey that my ancestor took from the shores of Ghana, from Elmina Castle, from Cape Coast Castle, and made the trip to the new land. And the essence of it is to show how they travel, and the ones that survived and the one that didn't survive. It's all constructed with natural materials. These twigs, they were harvested from my tree in front of my house, and each one kind of represent the collectiveness of the people that were on the boat, because that's how they were put together. And it's going to be surrounded by the sculptures of my ancestors, with their faces all surrounding these, as a way to bearing witness to the journey, as a way to bearing witness to where we are today.